How to be a villain.
Sword Maiden declared, by the master's order, "Save these outsiders, kill all those black monsters." She drew her massive sword. One Eye charged forward, flames bursting from his single eye, and shouted, "Kill!" The corpse puppets rushed toward the monsters. One Eye said, "Sword Maiden, let us join the fight too. Let us end this quickly." Sword Maiden replied, "Got it." As they clashed, Tushan Chanyu whispered to herself, "So many early stage saints, and even 2 peak stage saints. Such a terrifying lineup. If I could bring them back to the Sky Dome continent, what kind of power would that be?" She then said aloud, "Since the master that Sword Maiden mentioned is willing to help us, it means he does not dislike us outsiders. If that is the case, we might have a foundation for cooperation. If we can ally with such a powerful force, our chances of surviving on the ancient star of Taiji will definitely skyrocket." She smiled. And a few moments later, Sword Maiden and One Eye stood victorious. The monsters were all defeated. Sword Maiden said, "It is over. Let us head back." One Eye said, Tushan Qianyu suddenly knelt before Sword Maiden and One Eye and said, "Tushan Qianyu thanks you all for your righteous aid." Tianjin stood sweating in shock. Sword Maiden said, "No need to thank us. We were simply following orders." Tushan Qianyu asked, "Fellow Taoist, would it be possible for us to meet your esteemed master?" Qi Meng, great saint of the Taisu Holy Land, added, "We would like to thank your master in person. Please, help us make the arrangements." One Eye replied, "No rush. Our master happens to want to meet you as well. Come with us." As Sword Maiden and One Eye walked ahead, a demon whispered, "What do you think the power behind this group is like?" His friend, sweating, answered, "Yeah, to control so many early to peak stage saint puppets and even 2 late peak stage saints. That person has to be at least at the Saint King level." Tushan Qianyu said, "I just hope they are easy to talk to. Would not want someone difficult to deal with." Snake Maiden asked, "Qiamian, do you think you can win them over?" Tushan Qianyu replied, "As long as they are reasonable, I am confident I can convince them." A few moments later, at the center of the lake, Sword Maiden and One Eye announced, "Master!" Chushu stood silently. Tianjin and Tushan Qianyu both began to sweat. Chushu turned around, opened his paper fan, and said, "We are all old acquaintances. No need to be so formal." Tushan Qianyu, in shock and disbelief, thought to herself, "No way. It cannot be. How could it be that scoundrel Chu?" Snake Maiden also began to sweat in astonishment. Tianjin suddenly stepped forward, shaking Chushu's hand. "Holy son, you," Chushu said. "Uncle Tianxing, we will talk later. Where is my master?" Tianjin replied, "Holy son, junior sister Mengdi. She might not have made it." Chushu said, "So you did not actually see her die?" Qi Meng, the great saint of the Taisu Holy Land, said, "It all happened so fast. The monsters ambushed us out of nowhere. There were too many of them. We could not fight back and had to flee. While escaping, Peak Master Yun Xia and the North Guard King got separated. Their status is still unknown. The ancient star of Taiji was getting more dangerous by the day, and Peak Master Yun Xia was already heavily injured." Chu Xiu said, "I understand. Where exactly did you get separated?" Qi Meng, great saint of the Taisu Holy Land, said, "Holy son, are you thinking of going to find Peak Master Yun Xia?" Chu Xiu said, "Since we have not confirmed her death, of course I will look for her." Qi Meng, great saint of the Taisu Holy Land, said, "The ancient star is incredibly dangerous now. Please be careful, holy son. If you need our help, just send a message." Chu Xiu said, "All right." Tushan Qianyu, Lord of 1,000 Faces, thought to herself, "Whew, that guy finally left. Good thing something happened to Qi Mingdi. Otherwise, with that scoundrel Chu's personality, even if he did not kill us, he would definitely extort us hard. What kind of dumb luck did he get to suddenly have such a terrifying force backing him? Why is his luck so ridiculously good, so unfair?" 1 hour later, northern continent of the ancient star of Taiji, Icefield Plains. As Chushu took out a talisman, he said to himself, "I just hope nothing happens to you before I find you." He activated the talisman and discarded it. Chushu said to himself, "My master bears the child mark of the Heaven Cry twin seal. If she had died, the mark would have vanished. Since it is still intact, that means she is still alive." 2 days later, Qi Mengdi, badly hurt, lay on the ground. She murmured, "Where am I?" She focused inward, flames bursting around her to heal her wounds. She rose and walked outside, thinking, so much time has passed with no news of that rebellious disciple. The Taiji ancient star is such a perilous place. I wonder if he is even still alive. Suddenly, Chu Shu arrived and said, "Master, I have finally found you." Chi Mengdi said, "How did you know I was here?" Chu Shu said, "Silly, even if you were at the ends of the earth, I would find a way to reach you no matter what. Come on, let us leave this place. I will take you back." Chu Shu said, "You are not my rebellious disciple. Who exactly are you?" Chu Shu said, "How can you be so sure I am not him?" Chi Mengdi thought to herself, if he were really that brat, the moment he saw me alive, he would definitely mock me first, then get all handsy. Chu Shu said, "Heh, humans really are amusing." Chi Mengdi was shocked and said, "Dragon God." She revealed her true form. The Dragon God said, "That is right, I am the Dragon God. Woman, tell me, why does your body carry a scent that stirs old memories in me?" In a different scene, Taiji Ancient Star, Northern Continent, Snowy Plains. Chu Shu cut open a monster as Miao Xiaoqi watched. Chu Shu said, "No heart, no liver, no spleen, no lungs, and no kidneys. Just an esophagus and a stomach-like organ. What a strange creature." Miao Xiaoqi said, "I advise you not to cut it open. What is inside is seriously nasty, Nia." As Chu Shu continued to dissect, a foul stench filled the air. Miao Xiaoqi shouted, "You!" Chu Shu covered his mouth and nose and said, "That is completely disgusting." He flung away his scalpel and ran outside. Miao Xiaoqi said, "Told you not to mess with it. Now you know how horrifying it is, huh?" Chu Shu said, laughing at me. "Huh?" He grabbed Miao Xiaoqi and tossed her back inside the cave, shouting, "Take this!" Miao Xiaoqi said, "Chu Shu, I swear I will never forgive you. You son of a, you stink to high heavens." Chu Shu said to himself, dissection shows that these pitch-black Tiannu weapons, aside from limited intelligence, have no real weaknesses. Their speed, strength, and resilience are all top tier. Chu Shu said to Sword Maiden, "Sword Girl, go catch me another Tiannu weapon. I want to see if I can use the Unity Dao Seed to devour and modify it." One Eye arrived and said, "Master, we have found a clue." Chu Shu said, "Oh, let us hear it." One Eye said, "An hour ago we ran into a native of the Taiji Ancient Star. He was being chased by a Tiannu weapon. From him, we learned that just a few days ago, a group of Tiannu weapons were hunting down a female outsider. The woman was gravely wounded and eventually lost consciousness near a mountain stream not far from the endless marsh. Just as the Tiannu weapons were about to swarm and tear her apart, a massive golden claw reached out from the endless marsh and instantly crushed all the Tiannu weapons. Then it snatched the woman away. Master, it must have been the Dragon God. What should we do next?" Chu Shu said to himself, "This is bad. I have read about the Dragon God in ancient texts even before coming to the Taiji Ancient Star. On this star, she represents the absolute pinnacle of power, at least on par with Aunt Luo, a half-step quasi-emperor. Too bad Aunt Luo is not here. If I could lend her the Heavenly Emperor sword, we might have stood a chance against the Dragon God." Chu Shu said, "If I visit the Dragon God as the master of Desolate God Island, do you think she will attack me?" One Eye said, "Do not worry, master. After the heavens and earth were formed, the 5 deities made a pact not to attack one another. Although now the Dragon God is the only one of the 5 left, the pact still holds. As long as you do not harm her first, she cannot make a move against you." Chu Shu said, "Good. Then let us go meet the Dragon God." Then a few moments later, Dragon God's palace. The Dragon God, in her human form, was seated gracefully, as Chi Mengdi fed her fresh fruit. Dragon God said in mild surprise, "Oh, we have guests." A servant approached and said, "The master of Barren God Island requests an audience with Her Majesty." Dragon God said, "Oh." The servant tossed a jade emblem toward her. She caught it effortlessly. Dragon God said so. "Barren God Island has a new master now. Tell the emissary from Barren God Island that the master may come at any time. It is perfect timing. I was curious to find out who this new master is." The servant bowed yes. The Dragon God gently held Chi Mengdi's chin. Dragon God said, "Little Mengdi, I have an important guest coming soon. Make sure you behave well and make me proud, all right? Why not dance a little to liven things up?" Chi Mengdi to herself, me, a dignified saint-level powerhouse, reduced to dancing to entertain others. Dragon God said, smirking, "What? You are not happy with that? You would not want me to kill your beloved, would you? Then your unborn child would grow up fatherless." Chi Mengdi said, "You call yourself a proud pseudo-emperor. How can you be so shameless?" Dragon God said, "Get up. Come with me to get ready. The guest will arrive soon. Mengdi, with that figure and face of yours, even I, another woman, find myself tempted. I hear the new master of Barren God Island is a male cultivator. Tell me, what do you think of me gifting you to him? Chimengdi said, before that happens, I will end my own life. Even as a pseudo-emperor, you cannot stop someone who truly wishes to die. Dragon God said, laughing, haha. But what if I use your beloved to threaten you? A few moments later, outside the dragon palace, Chu Xiu arrived. An old turtle approached and said, Master of Barren God Island, the dragon god invites you inside for a meeting. Chu Xiu walked forward and said, much appreciated. Looking around, Chu Xiu to himself, so it is true what the Wuxia legends say. Dragons love glittering treasure. Is it possible to rob the dragon god? Yikes. They also say dragons value treasure more than life itself. On second thought, let us put that idea on hold for now. He entered and saw Dragon God and Chimengdi in the distance. Dragon God said he is here. Chu Xiu walked toward them. Chu Xiu said, Chu Xiu, master of Barren God Island, greets the dragon god. Chimengdi, shocked and confused, thought to herself, my rebellious disciple? What is going on? How did he become the new master of Barren God Island? Could it be that he is impersonating the island master? With his brazen attitude, he would dare deceive even me. Yeah, he probably would do something like this. Chimengdi coughed and began sweating nervously. Chimengdi to herself, that madman. The dragon god is not someone you can just fool. If he gets exposed, it is over. I need to warn him. Chu Xiu to himself, is master worried about me? But now is not the time to reveal myself. Still, ever since I walked into the main hall, the dragon god has not taken her eyes off me. Could it be she has fallen hopelessly in love with my devilish good looks? Ah, the curse of being irresistibly charming. Dragon god said, Master of Barren God Island, please take a seat. Tell me your name. Chu Xiu sat down and said, Chu Xiu. Dragon god said, I am Long Kui. Barren God Island has long been on good terms with the boundless marsh. I permit you to call me by name. Dragon god Long Kui said, serve the guests some tea. A servant approached and offered Chu Xiu a cup. Servant said this tea is called Holy Snow Brew, harvested from the Taiji Ancient Star's snowy mountain. It is extremely rare. You cultivators from the Sky Vault continent surely have not tasted it before. Chu Xiu, distracted by the mountainous view of the servant, thought to himself, it smells amazing. Chimengdi to herself in frustration, that damned disciple. I worried for nothing. Let the dragon god beat him to death. Dragon god Long Kui spoke to Chimengdi telepathically. That is your lover, is it not? Mengdi, really? You would go for such a young man? Chimengdi replied telepathically, do not spout nonsense. We are innocent. Dragon god Long Kui said, CCH, already pregnant and still claiming innocence. Chimengdi, blushing, looked away and muttered, Dragon god Long Kui to herself, how strange. Why do I sense such a familiar aura from him? Dragon god Long Kui said, Chu Xiu, no one comes to the palace without a reason. Tell me, what brings you to me? Chu Xiu said, I came for the sky slaves. Dragon god Long Kui said, Chu Xiu continued, with your strength, you must have already sensed their presence, have you not? Long Kui said, I have. They have not offended the boundless marsh, so we have respected the boundaries and refrained from interfering. Chu Xiu said, the sky slaves are cruel, greedy, and cunning. The balance between you will not last long. Once they accumulate enough strength, they will inevitably set their sights on the boundless marsh. Long Kui said so? You bring this up because you want me to take action? Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.